Bing bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today in the booth we're taking a little walk down the retro path as we're going to take a look at the 1986 release of Sandstorm again, as always with these not perfect G1 classic reviews. This is a figure that's really been played with a lot. This was from my brother, who even he got it second hand, so we'll see how time has been kind to this or not. We'll see how the stickers have held up and see how the articulation is and what has and hasn't held up. Sandstorm himself, if you don't know who Sandstorm is, he was released in 1986 as part of the Autobot Triple Changes along with Springer, and he's also part of the Wreckers, which of course is the Autobot strike force that we all know so much about. So let's have a little look at this mode here, and this mode is a pretty nice little kind of beach buggy-esque mode. I really like this mode. From the front, I think it looks great. The back doesn't hide the transformation too well, and there's a massive gap. I know we talk about the huge gaps that we have in modern day Siege figures, but this is rather large. And of course this is a triple changer, so they did their best to try and hide the transformation, but yeah, it's not too bad. We have some stickering detail. I love the colors on this. They're really nice and bright. The stickers have actually held up not too bad over time, especially seeing as you pull here for part of the transformation. You got some sticker detail in here on the windshield that you can see is fading a little bit. The heat thing here, is it working? Slightly. Yeah, I like the engine block that kind of sticks out of the back there. That looks pretty good. And then the wheels look really nice, some really nice big ass wheels. It's just all the junk that kind of hangs off the back here that's not ideal, but other than that, it's not a bad little buggy. Now for a quick comparison. So a quick comparison with his Decepticon kind of Challenger. This is the G1 version of Astro Train, so we can see how they look together. And as I think, as I've said in previous videos, either he's a big car or this is a very small shuttle. So again, as we know, G1 always a bit of an issue with kind of sizes and making sure that everything actually sizes together correctly. Comparing him to Siege, let's compare him to the Siege Prowl. So from a Siege point of view, his figure, his car is actually a similar size to the Siege figures with their cars, so it's actually not too bad. But obviously the design and everything is very different, and if you look from where we were to where we've come to, we get some really fantastic looking designs these days. As an added bonus comparison here, we can bring out the Siege version of Springer. I don't have the G1 version of Springer, but you can see how far we've come. This is like a Cybertronian vehicle, really nice vehicle mode. Size-wise, there's still similar lengths, but obviously this one is much more detailed and is a little bit wider. But it's interesting to see that they are still similar sizes altogether. Transformation time, and as this is a triple changer, we'll change it into the helicopter mode first. So all we do here for the helicopter mode is we flip him over and unbuckle all of this here, and then you can move the helicopter tail out like so. Then flip up this bit at the back. These bits just kind of go around and the wheels just fold in there, which is rather nice. Then these two bits come forward and you can lift up the helicopter blades so that he has all four separated. And then round the back, you're just going to move this wheel down here and move this wheel down here, so he has all his landing gear straighten out at the blades. And there we have the kind of search and rescue helicopter. Let's take a look at this helicopter then. Definitely my favourite mode in this. This is kind of how I display him. I think this is still a really cool looking helicopter mode, much better than the car mode itself. Actually, everything's held up fairly well on here. Some of the stickering detailing is a bit sketchy, but all in all, the screws and everything, you know, these aren't sagging down. This is still quite a stiff joint here, so this is nice. This all holds in, because some of them it's just these just hang down now. There is a little ledge here for it to kind of go onto, but you can still get a little bit of sagginess there. The rotor blades are still straight-ish, which is quite good. They still spin very, very nicely, and in the back we get some little articulation here as well. We've got the big wheels underneath for the landing gear, and all in all, this is just a beautiful looking search and rescue helicopter. I really like the oranges, the painted detailing here on the back, with the nice little white running through it is great. I really wish that back in the day they'd have kept more painted detailing on these like that, rather than going with all the stickers, just so that everything kind of held up a lot better as we move through time. But I think all in all, this is absolutely fantastic, and I think I like this so much I personally might actually try and paint these detailing on, get some nice paint and start painting this guy up and see what I can do with him. So yeah, definitely my favourite mode here, a really nice looking search and rescue helicopter. Now it's time for the comparison. So again, let's compare him to his G1 Decepticon nemesis Astro Train, and you can see again, scale wise, it's a bit of a shit show, I guess. You know, but again, G1 scaling never was the best. Bring out the Siege version of Prowl again, just so you can see how big they are together. And yeah, this is very, very small compared to what a car is. But if we bring out the Siege version of Springer, we can see how far helicopters have come, and helicopter triple changes have actually come, and we can see that, yeah, they look pretty sick together. I really wish they'd actually bring out a Siege version of this to see what they would have done for Siege. But yeah, Springer's helicopter mode looking pretty good, looking very close to actually being pretty G1 accurate there. They still look quite nice together. Transformation time on this bad boy now. Final transformation. First thing you're going to do is bring all of the rotors in and down. You can then bring this up and around like so. Then you can bring the legs down and bring the wheels back where they were for the car, and then you can bring the toes down, so you've got his kind of legs out. Then once you've got the legs out, his hip joint, his leg joints haven't really stood up the test of time. Fold these pieces down, and you can bring the wheels back out and lift this up. Once it's up, you can spin it round to reveal his pretty little head. Then the arms can go back up and go back up, and there we have Sandstorm in his bot mode. So this guy is not a Stunticon, but he is looking a bit stunted because over the years his joints have become a little worn. So that's the first thing to look at here. I think you can fix that probably with bit of floor polish. So I'll probably have a little go at fixing that dude, but you can see that hasn't really held up. The rest of the figure, he's an odd looking chap, you know. He looks like he should have big and bulky arms, but he's just got these little teeny tiny, almost like Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, like. So yeah, a bit of an odd one there. Head sculpt on this dude is actually a pretty nice looking head sculpt. I like it. I like any bot with a face mask, especially in these times. Looked very, very good. Really, really like the head sculpt on this, and it's cool the way you just flip it around and it turns from the engine block to that. As we go down, the stickering detail holds over from the car mode, and you can see that hasn't really held up too much over time. He has a tall but thin backpack, which is quite an odd one. So it adds height to the figure, but that's kind of it really. He still looks quite nice. I wish these arms were a little bit better. Articulation wise, you get this. That's it. You can get some head turning from the transformation, and you get some little toe articulation there. I don't know why you'd need it, because the legs don't articulate at all. So time to bring out some comparisons for this guy. So against his G1 Nemesis Astro Train, you can see they were a similar size, but this guy was a little on the thin side, and this guy's chunky. Then we can also bring out the Siege Prowl again, just to see how kind of far we've come. And it's funny, they're a similar height. He actually stands a little bit taller. Prowl straight and Prowl up a little bit here. Prowl, yeah, they're about the same, a similar height. Really, really nice. Obviously, articulation has come miles since then. But if we bring out his Wrecker buddy, who falls straight on his ass, we can see there's a massive height difference between these guys now. It's incredible how far we've actually come with these. This Springer, really, really nice. A bit of a challenge to transform, but when you think about, you know, the movie and how close you'd want him to be to that, he's fantastic. So now we come to the final wrap up on Sandstorm, and as always with these figures, would I recommend it? It's entirely up to you on these ones. If you're after the nostalgia version, if you want what you had as a child, or you want to see what it was like back in the day, then yeah, go pick one up. Varying qualities over the years. I'm not sure if there's been a reissue of this one. I've not seen a reissue, but I think you can get KO versions of this dude on AliExpress. I'm going to see what I can do with this guy to bring him back from the dead. So if you've got any tips on how to do that best to make the joints a little bit stiffer and things like that, please leave them down in the comments, because it would actually really help me out, because I'm very interested in how I can refurb some of my older G1 figures. So guys, do you still like Sandstorm? Do you wish they'd do a version in Siege? Are you looking forward to seeing what comes in the future for this guy? Is he one of your favourite triple changes, or do you prefer Springer or an Astro Train or a Blitzwing? Let me know down in the comments, guys. And as always, if you're new around here, give us a like, a share and a subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. In a bit, guys. Peace!